Hey, you guys. Happy Saturday. Let me tell you something. I got tired of writing this list after a certain point. Like, I done came up with a lot of things, obviously, but at a certain point, I was like, man, that's enough. There's confirmation, but I'm going to mute my phone. Like, this is like clockwork. I'm swear to you, every time I come live with you guys, and I know who this is too, trying to go out. But because yeah, after a certain point it was like, you know what, who cares, right? Who really cares? But in my emotional maturity, I tend to focus on, okay, is more so than why are you mean, you are being mean, and that's all I need to know. But I understand everybody's not at the same level in the healing process and involvement or even understanding of the process. you know it's kind of different when you kind of understand it inside and out you know But yeah, I came up with a lot of stuff, you guys, and some things should be obvious, right? But nonetheless, we're gonna go down this list. How's everybody doing? And by the way, on the community tab, I did put a question about me being forward facing with you guys. I call it forward facing. Like if I were to go live and you could see my face the whole time, or I'm uploading content and I'm showing my face more. Honestly, doing it this way is so much easier for me. Not that I have anything to hide. Your girl is very beautiful. Anyone that's seen me, you guys, not to sound too full of myself, but I'm full of myself. That's okay. I'm allowed. I love me. But either way, if you guys want to give your thoughts on whether you want me to be more forward faced with you guys, you have a chance to go over and just click an option on the community tab if you would like. That only takes a second. The other thing, you guys, thank you for all the energetic love that you show me when you guys come into my live chat. It always helps the channel get more exposure to more people to come on over and learn about their emotional maturity. If you do simple things like just like the video, it's an energy exchange. A very welcomed one, right? Yeah. I was laughing at myself when I clicked on to enter into this live chat because I was literally singing the Reba sitcom I'm a Survivor. I've been like binge watching her. I never watched this show when it originally aired, you guys, but I like it. It's pretty cool. And I don't know, country music is a realm of music that I never really delve into, but she sung a couple of times, like in the first season, and it really made me want to check out her catalog. And once I googled her name and seen that she sold like what $250 million worth of records, I'm like, oh, I gotta check this bitch out because her voice was very crisp. I'm interested. She has my attention. I'm going to get around to it eventually, but for now, I'm enjoying watching a sitcom. I'm on season 4. Dang, it took me a week or so. And I don't want to digress, but I'm just giving it time for people to come into the chat a little bit. But yeah, if anyone wants to peg it, I guess it started at damn near 4 minutes. That's okay. We could play around for a minute, right? All right. So why are these assholes so mean? What is it? What is it inside of a narcissist that just makes them mean to people? Or particularly, why were they mean to you? Because what I will say, it's a choice. Now, even if they're not being sincere, they can choose to do the right things what's socially acceptable to someone. They can grin and bear through that process. So, even if it's fake and phony and insincere, so why the hell couldn't they at least just go through that motion with you? Why did they just choose to just let the mask drop on your ass and let you just be mean to you? What is all that about? So we're going to go ahead and get to the list at that point. Let's just start with the basics, you guys. Of course, it's going to be a lack of empathy for you, right? They have a lack of empathy, period. But they might shield it in certain situations depending on where they are in a cycle of abuse with that person. Now, in case you don't know, the people who are the closest to the narcissist usually get treated the crappiest, unless it's like, and I'm going to get into this in another live chat. There are instances where narcissists they get played, of course, but they have a desire to be accepted by a bigger narcissist. And that's crazy. I seen that shit play out. And I was like, damn, like the same thing that they were trying to intrude on someone else, a bigger narcissist was doing to them. But that's, you guys, that's a whole nother live chat. But a lack of empathy for you, for sure. They don't mind showing you that lack of empathy. Of course, there's going to be a sense of entitlement. So they're feeling justified in this. They're entitled to treat you mean, right? That's crazy. They could be treating you mean because they feel threatened. Shoot, they could be treating you mean because they're about to devalue and discard you. So that's a clue. Unless this narcissist just treated you like shit from start to finish, and they kind of are. It's just that in the love bomb phase, they're hiding it from you and they're doing stuff behind your back that you find out later on. Like, damn, even during that phase, they was actually being mean and treating me like shit. They were doing it covertly. But when it's just following the cycle of abuse, when they're about to devalue you and discard you, yeah, they're going to start treating you mean at that point, right? So that's a clue. They're giving you a warning sign. Something's about to pop off here. Another reason, you guys, is because you exposed them or made them feel vulnerable. So, of course, they're team petty, and I'm going to treat you mean. I got to do something. I got to punish you somehow, right? Another reason, you guys, is because of jealousy and envy, right? That's going back to the basics. Because they need a dumping ground, or, they need an emotional punching bag, of course. They got all this stuff swimming inside of them. That doesn't feel good. I got to lash it out somewhere, right? You're the target, baby. The next thing, unresolved childhood wounds circling around, and you're the bad guy. So whoever the original narcissist was in their life that they didn't stand up to at the time, or they couldn't because they were children, or, whatever that is playing out in a relationship, and they're just kind of attacking you for that because they never do the work. They never do the work. So how are they going to get past those childhood wounds? And I'm not telling you that to feel any type of empathy, because they can very well do it. I mean, they're in 2024. It's all over the place. Like, people, even if you're not woke, it's being shoved in your face. You can do something about it. Whether you want to do it or not, about it, The next thing is to yeah, because they hate themselves, just shoving that or deflecting it onto you, basically, to escape accountability. So their self-hatred is being deflected and put on you, just like the dumping ground and the emotional bag. But, we could be specific about the self-hatred part. And it's also important to understand that a narcissist's meanness, their disrespect, is basically their baseline. So that's just normal for them. It's normal for them to be mean and disrespectful. That's the baseline of their life. Like, that's their comfort zone. So when I say baseline, you can just look at that as a comfort zone. Another reason why a narcissist is being so mean to you, they're trying to instill fear into you. They're hoping you'll get intimidated by this, and perhaps that could lead to some type of compliance by you, right? If I be mean enough to you, if I'm dominating over you in that way, maybe you'll have a fear of me. That's kind of like a God complex, right? That's crazy. Because I think you bleed like me, right? You put it's crazy. The ego with these people. Another reason that they may be being mean to you, you guys, is to humiliate you in some type of way, either publicly or privately. They could be being mean to you to triangulate you. and you may be involved in some type of triangulation where they're trying to show another supply that they don't really fuck with you, or they're trying to create space to start a love bomb elsewhere, right? But that's just all centered around cheating and, pushing that cycle of abuse along to the value and discard. Another reason they might be being mean to you, or so mean to you, is to put you on a chase. So if you have abandonment issues, if you're operating out of codependency, if you're putting a relationship on the throne and this person starts pulling away, treating you mean, if your self-esteem isn't intact, if you are allowing them to gaslight you and project their shit onto you and make you wrong for everything, then you're going to be chasing them to apologize, chasing them to fix the relationship. If you're used to lopsided relationships, or you're willing to accept that, you'll be trying to rectify the situation and doing all the work in that relationship. And that's going to be good supply for them. Another reason why narcissists are so mean to you is because everything's your fault, right? So of course I'm going to be mean to you if I've already designated you as the one that's 100% wrong all the time. All right. They could be being so mean to you because there isn't enough drama in the relationship. These people don't really like peace and calm and cohesiveness and togetherness and getting along. They don't want that. They don't thrive under that. Or at least they feel like they don't. Well, they won't thrive under it because they didn't do the work. So that's only going to look appealing to healthy people. So if there isn't enough drama, they're going to start some. Another reason why narcissists could be so mean to you is because it's a special day, a special occasion, a life-changing event. Like, they'll make sure they give you a memory of that day you'll never forget. You could be giving birth. It could be on your wedding day, leaving the hospital with the baby, like a birthday, anniversary, a holiday. It could be celebrating a promotion, anything. So they might be extra mean to you on those times. Another reason why they're so mean to you guys, of course, this is when you're accepting it, is you can't give what you don't have. You can't give what you don't have. Now, this one is a little bit deep of why narcissists could be so mean to you. Because they feel like you're not getting chastised enough. Isn't that crazy? Like, too many people approve of you. Yeah, that's messed up. Feeling like you don't get chastised enough. So because of that, like, there's enough people building you up. I'm going to be the one to build you down. They building you up a little bit too much. I need to counter that shit. Like, that's messed up. That's messed up. So, and the crazy thing about the part as far as you not being chastised enough, they're not even going to look at what you've been through or how far you came or stuff that you've overcame that people might look up to you for. That doesn't count. That doesn't count. You might even have been through similar situations that they've been through, but maybe it didn't affect you the same, or you overcame it in another way, or you still chose to be on a light, or operate out of your light and not let your shadow side overpower you, which is what they're doing when they're being so mean to you, of course, is allowing their shadow side to take the steering wheel. Another thing, you guys, of course, if people are internally unhappy and depressed and actually miserable, they're going to be very hormonal at that point as well. And again, people can't give what they don't have. Another reason, demonic attachments. Their minds and their vessels are polluted at that point. And that's the inhumane aspect of things. And as we get into that, we have to talk about untreated mental illness. Of course, you're going to be lashing out, having mood swings. You're not on your meds. You're not in therapy. You're not having accountability. This person is unhinged and cray-cray, right? And usually, they're going to have difficulty managing or regulating their emotions. That's what most narcissists have a hard time doing. Even a psychopath, because they're not even tapping into their emotions. So just because they're able to play it cool doesn't mean that they've conquered their emotions. They're just avoiding them. Okay. Another reason, hold on, Nehemiah. Hold on, hold on, hold on. Hold on, you guys. Yeah, I knew that was going to be a problem. Nene Nay convinced me to let her friends stay over here when I told them I was about to start this live. And of course, that was a bad idea, but I just sent her home. So, continuing down on the list, well, I think I did wrap that up with the mental illness and them having a hard time managing and regulating their emotions. The next thing, you guys, is because you're too happy and peaceful. I know you ain't over there smiling and laughing. Oh, it's time for me to be mean. It's time to break that up. You can't have a break from that trauma bond. You can't have rest and peace. What? The next thing, you guys, is you're the best thing that they don't have no more. Shoot, if you got away, and they can still be trying to be mean to you in any way that they can, okay? Whether it's a smear campaign or, yeah, that's usually how they do it when they can't get to you. And, they may be haunted by the experience they had with you, even after you're gone, because you could have given them that reality check, or you could have came the closest, especially if you're on this channel, to really letting them sit in their own energy. Yeah, and they resent you for that. The next thing is because you beat them at their game without even playing the game, baby. Of course I'm going to be mean to you if I'm a narcissist. You pissed me off. Like, I'm upset about that. You really didn't fall for my shit, and you left me, and you're okay, and you ain't devastated. Yeah. Yep. And they might actually, even at that point, they're going to resent your divine coverage. And it might even let them see how uncovered they are at that point. So it's a lot of things that you might be pushing them to reflect within themselves, whether they want to see it or not. That's the thing. When they cross the right empath, they're going to have to see stuff whether they want to see it or not. They could reject it, but I bet you they seen it at a certain point. They had to sit with it at a certain point for a certain amount of time, baby. And then they probably went back to being delusional and illusional, but they felt it at some point. I don't care if it was for 10 fucking seconds. All right. Another reason why the narcissist may be mean to you is because you think too much of yourself. What? She really thinks she a queen? He really think he a king? Oh no, I gotta humble them down, because if they're not gonna look at the relationship as both of us can be on the throne. No, it's just me. You're my servant. I don't care if you're my spouse. You're still my servant, right? And hey, my miracle 79, how you doing this evening? And welcome to the live chat. But yeah, they're always trying to humble somebody, and they're doing it by being mean. It only will work if you care about how they feel about you, if you care about if you're putting them on the throne. But if you don't, they'll be sadly mistaken. Another reason, you guys, why narcissists is being so mean to you is because they never plan to treat you right anyway. They never planned to be fair with you. That wasn't never on the agenda. So they're just sticking to their script. All right. Another reason why narcissists are being so mean to you, they want you to know, or they don't want you, excuse me, they don't want you to feel like you have any power or upper hand over them. You're not pleasing me. You didn't make me happy. I'm not simping with you. I'm not sprung on you. But what they don't understand is people with their emotional maturity can understand that anger is hiding a type of toxic care. It could even be hiding a real love, but we're talking about narcissists here, so we won't really stick to that other part. Because why are you getting so wound up over something you don't care about? It shows care. If you busting a vein over somebody busting a vein over you, they might be madly in love with you. And if they're toxic, it'll be in the most toxic way. You know what I mean? But yeah, if I don't care about you, I'm not going to be moved by you. But if you that moved to be that mean and show that type of emotion, please, they're secretly somewhere really tripping over you and missing you. But for all the wrong reasons, when it's a narcissist, they just miss that good energy as opposed to, having a healthy relationship, of course. Another reason why narcissists are so mean to you is they're trying to sabotage you in some kind of way, right? And they're trying to play mind games with you. They're already starting you into that whole thing, like confusion. They need to have confusion in the element. They need to keep you off balance, right? So I'm going to treat them real good, throw this at them and see how they react. It could be a test. They're being mean to you. It could be a test. Let me see what this person going to take. How far can I go with them? Like, what can I get away with? Let me start being meaner and meaner. I mean, they're going to be mean anyway at some point, right? But it could be a test to see your level of tolerance. Like, how much abuse will this person take? And then if you've already divulged your abusive background to them, they're like, well, they probably might minimally let me do what the other people have done, right? They might be primed for that. I could try. So that's really messed up, but that's like in the mind of, the manipulation that comes with abusive people. So that's why you don't have to divulge these things. You don't. I could see maybe if you make it to marriage with someone, hopefully you don't marry a narcissist. Many people have. They get married all the time, but hopefully, on this channel, people have gotten away from it or they're divorced if they ever remarry again. Or if you never have married, maybe you won't get to that point where it's a narcissist. But, everyone doesn't have to know about the things that you've overcome. It can be between you and God. You can give yourself that grace of privacy when you're healing through stuff. I take that approach too. Sometimes when I'm going through stuff, I may retreat. I'm not going to isolate. It's not an isolation, but I'm retreating as far as I'm doing stuff in private. I'm healing in private. If it's someone that I feel is worthy enough to have a certain kind of information, I'll let them know, but it's usually going to be on a need to know basis at that point. But when you're getting to know people, they don't have to know all of that part. You could be very vague. Yeah, I've overcome stuff in my life, but I'm here today. You don't have to be very specific about it because you don't even know who you're dealing with yet. And some of them like to go for people who've already had this broken past because, like I said, it just makes, in their mind, it could make them feel like you may be more susceptible to fall into that trap again. But it could actually be the one thing that made sure you won't fall into it again, but they won't know until they try. So another reason, you guys, why narcissists are so mean to you is because they want the story to be true about you. So if I already pegged you as you ain't shit, you ain't do me right, and you're basically wrong for everything, then that entitles me and justifies the meanness. So if I want to keep that story going, my behaviors are going to be in alignment with that. But, that's weird too in emotional maturity, because a healthy person, if you ain't shit, you ain't do me right, and everything was wrong, then you get the fuck away from me. I don't have nothing else to do with you. I'm not going to be invested in drawing out this toxicity and drawing you in and further interacting with you and needing to be petty and needing to strike you this way and throw this dart and prick you here and sabotage that. Like, who got time for that? Healthy people don't have time for that. When you have something to lose, you have a positive life. When you moved on to bigger and better, you don't have time for that, and you won't even want to have time for that. That lets you know how sunken they are. And this is even crazy. And this kind of goes along with the God complex. They think they have a right to dish out your karma, because you did them wrong. So now they have to be your karma. They're not letting God deal with it, and never mind theirs, by the way. But you, yeah, they got to get you. And especially if you really stood in your power and you got away from them, they really might be vested in some way of trying to get a revenge on you. And that revenge to them is the karma. So inadvertently, they're calling in their own negative karma. But you can't tell them nothing. Can't tell them nothing. Another reason why a narcissist might be so mean to you is because you see straight through them and they hate it. What? You're the first person that could tell that's a phony ass smile. Like when you look in their eyes, you see that disturbed shit. You know what I mean? Everyone else, they might be looking at deeply, or they might not be as in touch with the energy. Empaths, we can read that energy. They hate that you can see through them. And not only did you have seen through them, but you might have called them out on it. That's like a double-edged sword right there for them. Like, what? They mad you seen through them. Another reason, you guys, is I'm trying to understand my handwriting again. Nathan, I'm on a live chat. No, don't. Just wait. Take Chucky and wait. I have a house full of kids, you guys. Oh, this was funny. Another reason why the narcissist is so mean to you is because they got to keep going back to the fucking drawing board. Try again, motherfucker. Michael Blackston. Oh my God. Last fall, I seen his sitcom and it was raw. And I did not know. I didn't know what to think of that. Did any of you see that? What was that? I don't know what it was on. I was over somebody's house. I don't know what they was using because they had one of those sticks, fire sticks or something. But it was Michael Blackston. He had a sitcom, and I seen like the first 3 episodes or whatever. But in the first 2, I was like, what? Like, he was so vulgar towards women. I was like, who wrote this? Like, it was very, I don't know. It made me feel like, did he like women? Like, his character was so weird towards women. Like, the disrespect was crazy. But that was like a little digression. But yeah. They hate having to, like, you kept sending them back to the drawing board. Like, they couldn't figure you out, you guys. Like, and that's a good thing. Like, when you get to that point, like, you're the shit. Like, they have to keep going back to the drawing board to figure out another attack, which is why we had the saying, new level, new devil. Like, in life, we're not going to be guaranteed these attacks aren't going to keep coming. But when you build up your armor and your emotional maturity, they're going to have to really work for that. If they can even penetrate, you know what I mean? Like, the more you keep expanding your mind and your emotional maturity, it's going to be so hard. And that's another reason why yesterday I was saying people with special gifts, they might lead a life. I'm grabbing for my TikTok cup because I need some water. They might lead a life where their circle is very small and they won't be able to trust too many people. And I didn't say this yesterday, but when God gives you a special gift, he wants it that way. He don't want a lot of energies around it because he's trying to protect it. I mean, the more people around you, the more susceptible you are to these attacks because people bring, their attachments with them and they bring their humanness with them. And like I said in other videos, that admiration and inspiration, it turns to the hate and the envy. So, if you're asking God to refine you and lift you up and exalt you in a certain way, you have to be prepared for not being able to be so accessible or not being able to really have a lot of people too close for you. But that is just for your own protection, to protect your gift and your purpose, So, another reason why a narcissist might be so mean to you is to trigger your trauma bonds, right? Or make you long for the love bomb period to try to get you triggered into that. Like higher level narcissists, they could be psychology junkies too. They literally study manipulating people. And psychopaths, like, they are people watchers. They will sit back, watch how people's facial expressions are. Like, they might get deep into it just to take that information to further know how to strengthen, how to manipulate whoever they want to. They done studied it. Not only have they studied it, they practice it a lot. So a narcissist can be so mean to you because you got something they wanted. A promotion, a relationship, God's favor, you won something, popularity, acknowledgement, whatever the case may be. You got something that they wanted. So you're already the enemy. Doesn't matter if you rightfully won it or you rightfully earned it or if it was just your time or season. None of that matters because of the entitlement. When narcissists are being so mean to you, they're giving you an invitation to align with their energy as well. Come down to my level. This is like a crab in a barrel type of thing. Or it could be a situation where, can I ruin your day? Shoot, can I just ruin a few minutes of your day? I said this in another video. They'll take anything at a certain point, especially when you're in no contact or you've gotten away from them. All right. Narcissists are being so mean to you because they're trying to break you. It's usually not this one big thing that breaks a person in life. It's a whole bunch of incidences that pile up on a person. And then that one more thing is usually the straw that breaks the camel back. Years ago on this channel, I made some videos to address that. Maybe I can try to find them and tag them on here. Because I think I was talking about people who committed suicide and stuff, that one more thing. And of course, suicide is a little complex and this video isn't for it. But yeah, people get the tunnel vision and all they can see is that negative thing. And usually there's a lopsidedness with their ability to see the good things in their life or their options, the positive ones, the escapes out of that, because they're probably, also in a deep depression as well, which is a mental illness, a treatable one. But if you're not treating it, of course, that's definitely not going to make the suicidal thoughts go away. They need an intervention. And definitely an intervention with God. But, I digress and we're moving on here. Another reason why the narcissists are so mean to you is they just don't know how to be peaceful, right? They just don't know how to. Another thing that I thought about, you guys, and this is a little bit physiological here, is sleep deprivation. One narcissist that I had a close encounter with, he could never sleep. He had a lot of sleep issues. And this might also speak to the untreated mental illnesses and also the demonic attachments, because it's hard to be at peace when you possessed. It's hard when your mind is so busy. And it's also hard when you're just always scheming and scamming. Like, you dealing with all these people, you plotting on this one and that one. You're trying to keep it all aligned. Like, you just got a whole plate of deception in all different types of directions. And then they're creating all these soul ties at times for those little messy, reckless ones that are sexual and sleeping with this one and that one. Like, they're just inviting more and more attachments on them. Like, they're polluted. They're not doing cleanses, spiritual cleanses. They're not, trying to release anything. They're bringing it all with them. So who knows? That's pretty heavy if you think about it. But sleep deprivation would make anybody cranky. They're already a certain amount of meanness, but You throw in there, like I said, the untreated mental illness and all that other stuff. And especially for the ones that don't have stability, they sleeping on this couch, the homosexual ones. Like, yeah, there's just, that's not very peaceful or comforting. All right. They might also be being mean to you, of course, because they can't use you the way they want to. That's going to, if I'm launching all these attacks against you and they're failing, and or you're blocking me, or it's just not panning the fuck out, like I just can't get because they think you're a baby. They think you have the trust of a baby where they could just take the candy right out your hand, and then you're making them work for it, and then they're working for it and they ain't getting the results. They're not getting any rewards for their efforts. At that point, they're wasting their time. Their ego might make them try for a certain amount of time, or even they'll try forever if you don't break the ties with them. They might, unsuccessfully, which, obviously will breed more meanness. Which leads me to the next thought, that they're being mean to people because they hate the power that you have over them. Like, they really try to shield that part. They need, quote unquote, supply. And you're way more than that. So they end up getting more than they're bargaining for when they meet the right one. That's for sure. But they hate the power. They resent you for that. They resent that they may have had moments of being jealous of and envious of you, that you did have a better life than them, or you did overcome a trauma that they didn't, that you were able to actually choose the light over the dark. Like, they're going to resent the hell out of you for that. And in their emotional maturity, they don't know how to deal with that. They're not going to ask you, what's teaching me how to do it? Instead, I'm just going to be mean to you. I'm not going to acknowledge it. I'm not going to give you your flowers. I'm not going to, I'm just going to treat you like shit. Like, bitch, you can learn something from me. Take a fucking note. Don't be bitter. Be better. Don't be bitter. Be better. They need that tattooed on their forehead so they can sit in the mirror every day, right? Another reason, you guys, is, I'm looking on my list. Right. They don't have relief, so they don't want you to have relief. So this is back to the crab in a barrel type of thing. They don't feel relief. I want you to feel pain like me. Never mind me trying to get rid of my pain. Just come have pain with me. It's so stupid. And ultimately, you guys, what the hell did I write? I know I wrote ultimately. Oh my gosh, I gotta stop scribbling, you guys. Is feeling that would be ultimately not. Oh my God. I'm completely laughing at myself right now. And I know this was good because it's my ultimately one. Gosh, I understand this part. Why did I put, because I write with, like, I use this zero line, but I use it for another word this time. Ultimately, they know it's feeling that would be exhausting and defeating. Hold on.
Can I sleep with you?
I'm not going to bed. I'm actually going out. Hold on, you guys. Oh my gosh. The twins need their aunties. Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh, you guys, I'm really trying to understand what I wrote for this ultimate one. And if you guys want to add anything, you can surely put them on in there in the comment. I'll share them in the live chat too, because I'm going to figure this out. I knew I shouldn't have took a shortcut with this. Something about being exhausting and defeated. Oh, okay. Well, maybe I was trying to say they're trying to exhaust you and make you feel defeated. Yeah, I could see. I don't think that's what I meant, but I could definitely get that. You know, especially for you stubborn, toxic empaths, that may have been trying to force the situation. It may, make you exhausted and defeated because no matter how much you're pouring into them, you're getting that meanness back. Hmm. Oh, what I think that I was trying to say is they felt exhausted and defeated by the end of it because they couldn't catch your ass. You kept getting away. But that's what butterflies do, baby. What you thought? What you thought? You were just a lesson. You were just a lesson. They are just lessons, you guys. They are just catalysts for us light workers. Those are seasons of refinement, seasons of awakening, right? Seasoning when our third eyes are definitely getting open for the first time or getting sharpened. Okay. It's very empowering, actually. It's very empowering. But at the end of the day, you guys, no matter what the real reason is that they're doing this, being mean to you, we deserve better, right? We deserve better and we command better. We don't demand it. I need sincerity. If I got a demand for you to treat me right, I don't want to fuck with you. Like, you're a time waster. And we've evolved past cycles of abuse. We don't need no one to abuse us, to tell us to believe in ourselves, to understand our worth, to not abandon ourselves or be codependent. We went through all of that shit. So they're hitting the wrong target at that point. And then that's why they're going to stay mean, because we're not going to give them the satisfaction and they're not stopping shit. That's what they're going to learn. If anything, when they're catalysts, they push you up further, and that will make them so mad to feel like they were actually a part of your glow up. They're like, wait a minute, how did they take all of that fucked up shit I did to them, the unsavory, the cheating, the manipulation? How did they take all of that shit and somehow come out even fucking better? Like, because if somebody would have did it to them, like someone probably already did it to them, because they become their abusers a lot of times. They would do just what they did. They fell, they joined them. They couldn't beat them, so they joined them. But guess what? We beat them. We didn't join them. We elevated above them. And now it would have to, unfortunately for them, it would have to be a greater narcissist to, like, you wouldn't be able to touch me. Someone else would have to try it, and they probably won't be able to do it either. You know what I mean? It's kind of like that. You'll evolve over them, and they know, like, you've graduated from them at that point. None of the shit, and it's thanks to them partially because they were showing you. They revealed some dark manipulation tactics and stuff that you could learn from it. You learned from it. That's what Whitney Houston said. I learned from the best. I learned from you. Yeah, that's what she was talking about. I learned from the best. Experiencing you taught me a lot of shit about dark motherfuckers. And now I know better. So I hope that this live chat helps someone. We done spent what? I'll give it 40 minutes. 40 minutes listing the whys. Because, it helps in the healing process. It does, to be able to connect the dots. But you can definitely have closure from within yourself. The closure can be as simple as, if this person was for me, they would have treated me better. That could be enough right there. But when we're doing the shadow work and we're really going back into stuff and peeling back the layers just to learn from them, not to dwell, not to re-trigger ourselves, not to get stuck back in another cycle or regress, it's okay. It's okay to do your research, and it just helps you better understand manipulative people, right? That's the whole point of these type of talks. You can understand their tactics, the ways that they think, because it's foreign. It's some people have a hard time jumping into other people's shoes. See, I'm pretty good at that. And if you have that gift, it'll take you far. If you're able to put yourself in other people's shoes to see why are they doing stuff, man, that's a great skill. But it requires you to detach enough from yourself or to be able to see angles enough, to why would this person think that way without putting too much of my energy on it. Like, that's a gift. If you have that gift, it's great. Nurture it and get better at it. If you don't have that gift, then, you can still nurture yourself to begin to understand that better. Because when a detective goes to a crime scene, he might not have been the serial murderer. He might not have been the person who committed the crime, but he's piecing that together. He's stepping into the shoes and using his critical thinking. And that's what we have to nurture and become better with in our emotional maturity. And that's what I hope for a channel like this, that people are growing in their emotional maturity. Now, all week, I've done some really good live chats, you guys. I highly recommend listening to them. And just so you know, for all the newcomers and just for reinforcement to the people who have been rocking out with me, it's always good to listen to the end. Because I tell you, I'll think that I have my list done or my talking points, and then stuff will come into me, at the end when I'm about to go off. I'll be like, oh, yeah. So it's always good to hear it all the way through if you can, because I don't want you to miss any of the messages, That's how live chats are. They live. It's not like I'm pre-doing it and then I'm editing it to make sure it's all at a certain point. It's just as it comes out, especially for stuff that I didn't write down. But I love you guys. I hope that you are having a good weekend. I hope that all is well. I feel like I'm in my soft girl phase. Like, my life is so soft, you guys, and I love it. It's not perfect, it's not without ups and downs at times, but for the most part, it's so chill and it's so calm and peaceful. And I love it here. I love it here. And I thank God for that. Like, he's restructured my life, or he has my life structured in a way where it's pretty soft. It's pretty soft. And I love it. I love it. And yes, Jaslyn, they are very vindictive. Tell me about it. Especially when they don't get their way. Or just period, when they plotting all of it. My Miracle 79 says, so true, and that's great. Yeah, it's nothing wrong with having a soft life, And I want that for empaths, because sometimes we take on more than we should. And, we have to learn the hard way about how to have self-preservation and knowing what battles are yours to fight. It's okay. Like, you don't have to save the world. Save yourself. Save yourself. And the word selfish, that's not all a bad word. Sometimes you need to be selfish, especially, let's say I'm getting out of narcissistic abuse. Be selfish. You were putting out a lot of energy. You need to turn it all back into yourself at that point. You need it. You literally, physically, psychologically need it at that point. So get in tune with yourself to know how much you can give out energetically. That's what a balanced person learns, how much they can give. My rest at night, resting, putting my feet up, that's important to me. Extremely important. I know, like, in my 20s and even in my 30s, it was like grind, accumulate, get this, get that, work all these hours and running myself to the ground. My mind is not like that anymore. Yes, I acknowledge we need money to live, and I make sure I get to that in the smartest way possible. But I'm not about to run myself to the ground. Okay? It's just not something that I do. And that is definitely a part of my self-care. And it's also part of my self-care not to fuck with people that are mean to me. I don't care who they are. I don't care who they are. That's it. That's a way to get exited right out of my kingdom. Chances are forever. Chances are forever at that point. Particularly, and I just said chances are because sometimes it's family members that you might want to just with a wooden spoon type of thing. But as far as romantic relationships, nope, nope. If I'm going to be with you, you're going to love me right, and you're going to love me right from the beginning. It ain't going to be you treated me like shit. I went through a cycle of abuse to you. I had to leave, and now you figured out I was a good thing, and now you want me back. Oh, hell no. I don't give people a second chance to do that to me. I used to do that, when I was younger. I would give people second chances. Nope, they don't change. They don't. I have yet to give someone a second chance and they changed. I haven't seen it. I have yet to see that with other people either. So I'm not, people have to make their own decisions though. But obviously you have to be mindful of that, because if you were dealing with a narcissist, a second chance just means another cycle of abuse. All right. No matter how long they stretch out the love bomb phase to try to make you think, is not going to eventually get back to that devalue and discard. It's coming. So be careful. Raise your standards, you guys, on what you allow. Like, it's okay. Yes, it's okay to be picky. It's okay to be exclusive. It's okay to be selective. It's okay to dismiss people with poor behavior right away. It's okay to be one and done, especially that's the big one to empaths who want to see the good in people. Go check out my live chat a few days ago on that, if you need reinforcement on that, and lots of reasons why that's a no-no. Whew, that's draining right there. Learn how to read the room. Sometimes when empaths, toxic ones, when they get into the relationship and they peg it, they put it in a box. Like, they think they met their spouse. They think this and that. No, get to know the person first and adjust as you go. Maybe you thought, initially it was feeling one way, but as you progressed a little bit more, you got out of the honeymoon phase, you now see that as this. Then make the adjustment and make the cutoff if you need to. Because time is something that you can never get back. And you should only be going for what you deserve, period, in your connections. And that's that. You don't have to put up with nobody's shit. Nobody's shit. Nobody's shit. They got an attitude problem. That's a personal problem. That's what I would say about everything on this list. All these reasons of them being mean, it don't have shit to do with the other person. It's all within them. And that's a personal fucking problem. It's not your fault if they didn't get their mental illness treated. It's not your fault if they haven't done the work like you to be ready for a healthy relationship. It's not your responsibility to get people ready for that. You are taking a huge gamble, and that is a lot of energy and possibly even years out of your life energetically. We'll have to do a live chat on getting sick, illnesses, bringing these certain energies around you. Because that meanness just equates to stress in your life if you're receiving it or if you're close to it. Like, even if you, let's just say, even if you don't receive it as far as, all right, this person is being mean to you, calling you out your name, saying this and that. Okay, you don't really think you're a bitch and this and that, but you're still hearing it. It's hitting you in some kind of way. Like, I'm not even going to be around it to hear it, whether I believing it or endorsing it or not. But it's kind of it's kind of like an oxymoron there, because if I don't believe it, I'm not going to be around it anyway. I don't even want to hear you calling me that, whether I'm believing what you're saying or not. So boundaries. We have to have the proper boundaries. Fuck that. Like, after you've been abused and you've been through narcissistic abuse, especially for some of you who have been habitual or who have had to experience this in 2 or 3 really bad narcissistic abusive relationships or whatever the case may be, you should be fully fed up with that. That should be completely out of your system. Like, you should be taking all of those lessons with you, and you shouldn't be tolerating that shit off of nobody. And period. It should just be a period thing. You do teach people how to treat you. And if they don't want to accept that, that's fine. But you're getting the fuck away from me. I'm not forcing anybody to be evolved on their journey. You can stay exactly in the mentality that you want. but you're not going to be fucking with me. Like, it's really simple. You don't have to fix them. You don't have to do none of that. It's just a wrap. That's it. That's it. So put your foot down. Put your foot down and command more for yourself. Don't allow anybody to take nothing out on you. Their unhealedness, none of that. None of it. We should be like completely done with that. Have no space for that. I will sit alone at my table. I don't deal with a lot of people. I don't. I do not. I can count my friends on one hand, and I don't need all my fingers. I don't. Nope. And I'm okay with that. I do not associate with a lot of people either. I don't. I'm okay with that as well. Shoot. I'm enjoying my soft life. And anyone that tries to approach me to get close to me in a certain way, they have to show me that they deserve to have that type of closeness. And they have to continue to maintain the connection in a way that respects and honors and uplifts me. I'll do the same thing. It's not like I'm a narcissist. Oh, adore me and fuck you. No, I'm going to give what I require. But you're going to give it or you can get the fuck on. It's kind of like that. And that can be cold and then you be cold then. I'm very cold to abuse. Yes. I'm very cold to fuck shit. Yes. And that's that. But people know. You don't have to, like, I don't meet people and tell them that. Usually they'll feel the energy off you. And if they don't, they'll know how you react the first time they try that shit. And you don't have to be all, it don't have to be a loud thing either. It's not like you arguing with them and trying to talk them out of shit or pointing it out. It's just you're either going to be dismissed. It depends on what it was, Depends on what it was. And there's a difference between having conflict resolution with someone or dealing with someone that's just flat out disrespectful and devaluing you. There's a difference between that. All relationships have their first argument, but what is the argument over? You being up in a whole bunch of people's faces or you calling me out my name, that's not a first argument. That's a dismiss. There's no argument over that. Toxic people, narcissists, they're always going to do things that are striking the core of your essence. No one's allowed to strike the core of my essence and stay the fuck in my life. Like, you're not going to do that and still keep your position and still have access to me. That's not how that's going to go. And I did a video on why narcissists commit. Sometimes they'll commit to you thinking, you'll be trapped at that point. No, nope. If that's what you was doing, trying to set me up, nah, I don't think so. Don't ever feel trapped. Do not ever feel trapped. There's always a way out. So, and that's a mind thing and a psychological thing on your part. That's self-limitations that you will be putting in on your part. But there's always a way out of a situation, whether it feels comfortable to you at first or not. But if you listen to my other videos, we talk about the trauma bond and your emotions and how they need to catch up with your logic, especially when you're first breaking out of abuse. So, but I see too many things in the news, you guys. And I'm sure in those situations where it gets to the most end all be all situation where people are unalived, I bet you it started out with the person just being mean to them. It tends to go in levels and it tends to increase over time. It's kind of like, people that are getting high that needs a higher high. Like, okay, I need more now. And it needs to keep being elevated. So their type of abuse needs to get stronger. Before a man punched her, he probably just snatched her up or pushed her, or, it slapped her. Like, it went in stages. It usually isn't just going from 0 to 100, although that can happen now because people are crazy. Mental illness is real. Blacking out is real. And that's why you just have to be careful. Man, I be reading the comments under the videos and people be like, and it be under the videos there's some crazy shit popping off. And they be like, that's why I just stay single. People are just too crazy. And I'll say, don't live your life in fear, but definitely you need the emotional maturity. You need that. You definitely need that. All right, you guys, it's been an hour. It's always nice to drop in with you guys. Make sure you like, share the content. If there's anything that you would like for me to discuss on the channel, you can always drop it down. Other than that, it's almost 1,000 videos, you guys, on this channel to help people increase their emotional maturity. Thank you, my miracle. She says, oh, I love it. I love it too. Like, I love coming on here with you guys. I hope that you have a lovely night too, sweetie. I hope that, you guys are enjoying it as well. So I'll always leave it open here, open-ended, if anybody wants to ask me a question about their situation. If you're going through something, if you have some good news, like I left my narcissist, I've been thriving for 5 years, don't always have to be a doom and gloom thing. If you want to share anything, I'll leave a moment here under the post. And then after that, we'll just close up this live chat, you guys. But always, keep investing in yourself, keep expanding your mind, nurturing your emotional maturity, because it's priceless. Like, once you have that, you have a lot. You'll be a very powerful person, and it'll be hard for people to successfully come up against you. That's the key thing, successfully. They're going to come up against you now, because everybody likes to come for the top dog, or everybody likes to, it's just the thing. I think there have been people that have, just because I teach emotional maturity, I really feel like people have tried me just because of that, just to see, will she figure me out? Does she really know this? And like, they'll try. Unsuccessfully. Always unsuccessfully. All right, you guys, I don't see any comments posted on here, so I'm going to go ahead and end today's live chat. And I love you guys, and I will certainly see you in the next live chat, you guys. Please take care, stay safe, and I'll see you next time.